Military freefall, known as Halo or HAHO, lets elite forces infiltrate undetected from over 30,000 feet, a high-risk stealth skill pioneered in the 1950s and refined in Vietnam. Yet it went decades without a distinctive badge until 1994. Here's how it came to be.
My name is Fran Hendricks, and I'm a retired Air Force Brigadier General. I'm a former SOCOM, I like to call SOCOM graduate, so I got a little time in with the Special Ops community as well, and I was reassigned to SOCOM headquarters at MacDill Air Force Base. I was going in as a division chief for the Military Personnel Division. My boss was Colonel Gary Gresh, United States Army. While I was there, I was called into Colonel Gresh's office one day and was informed that General Downing wanted to get a freefall badge. The way that Colonel Gresh informed me of that request was that the old man wanted an MFF badge. And so I was standing in front of his desk trying to figure out what the other F was. I had no idea. I said, sir, I got the mother and the other F, but what's the second F for? And he said, what are you talking about? It's military freefall. Well, I didn't know what military freefall was, and so that started my journey of learning about Halo and HAHO. It took me to Bragg. At that time, the Halo committee was at Fort Bragg, and it was Halo chair was a fellow major. So I remember taking a trip up there and introducing myself. The black hats, the instructors, saw this Air Force major there, no wings, nothing, a leg, and so they paid me no mind until the chair said, "This is Major Hendricks from SOCOM. He's here to talk to you about designing a badge for freefall." Well, by then I was like everybody's friend, and they had all kinds of suggestions about what this future badge should look like. Did a lot of research, found out that the French were the first ones who had used this capability, and then we were going to adapt it and had adapted into our thing back in the 50s, late 50s or so. But there was no distinctive badge for this capability. Whether you were free fall or static line, you had the same badge. I was very fortunate. Somebody pointed me to this Special Forces Association, and a colonel named James Phillips, a former Green Beret, and I got together and started talking about this task I had. Colonel Phillips had a company, Phillips Publications, and they actually did military insignia and stuff like that. And so he had the graphic artists that could take the ideas that we would come up with. And believe me, there were some crazy ideas that came up. A lot of it had to do with the current static line badge and making it look a little bit different. Then we came across a Sergeant First Class, Gregory Daly, ODA 552, back in 1983, had a concept of a design for a freefall badge should it ever happen. And so we added that to the collection of things we were looking at. So we had a card deck, a stack of these proposed things that I would take to the 4-star. After looking at all the other ones, it was very clear that the one that Sergeant First Class Daly had an idea of. I said, I'm only going to take one in. I told Colonel Phillips, because I was going to go in to see General Downing on my own. I said, I'll go in there. I'm taking one in. He's only going to pick one, and I think it's this one. And in the process of going in there, I said, I'm going to go one further. I'm just not going to show them on a piece of paper what it might look like. I'm going to take the opportunity and have them stitched up what they would be wearing on their uniforms. And these are what I showed the general. Sir, here's the drawings, and here's what they would look like. So it wouldn't just be like a big blob. This is what they would look like. The badge itself is a ram air chute. And which is used in this capability. The dagger is a Ranger dagger, the Fairborn Sykes Ranger dagger from World War II, which is this connection of this badge to the OSS, the forerunners of special operations. And then the downswept wings are symbolic of man flying, if you will. So he looked at these, and I take it he liked it because he told me to stand by. He went over and picked up the phone and called the Chief of Staff of the Army. Well, I was in the office, General Sullivan. And General Sullivan and him had a conversation as I stood by about General Downing asked permission for the members of SOCOM and USASOC to wear a badge if he wanted the authorization to have it produced. There was questions asked back and forth, and finally at the end, General Sullivan said yes, but when they come back to Big Army, they have to take it off. He said, yes, sir. Hung up the phone. That would have been in October of 94. I had to tell the four-star, sir, I haven't staffed this through anybody. You're the first one to see these. There's an Office of Heraldry out there that goes to, claims that they got final say. And he said, hey, Major, when I was in Vietnam, we didn't have a badge for air assault. We wore skulls and crossbones. We did all kinds of stuff. And eventually we came up with what we have today. And we never went to the Office of Heraldry. By osmosis, the culture took it. And he said the same thing will happen here. And he's right. I never staffed a package to the Office of Heraldry. I went back to Colonel Phillips and said, got permission to move forward. Can you produce them? And he did. And so what we did initially was, if you were on orders for Freefall, send me a copy of your orders to my office, and I would mail you back your Freefall badge. Got a hold of the Halo committee and said, from now on, all students who, when they complete the basic or jump master, because we only did the two sets of wings, they will be presented their badge at graduation. And people were calling or mailing in, and I was running a post office. They were sending this stuff out. The communities, particularly the early folks, were so excited to have this badge. So today it's worn. It's got a jump master. It's got the basic. And I'll tell you, my research on this thing, it definitely deserves its own distinctive badge for what we ask individuals to do with this capability. It's quite impressive. So being here at Eggman with Hurlburt Field and the 7th group and seeing folks wearing that badge, it always makes me proud to see somebody with that on, and knowing that I had a small role in bringing that to so that people can wear it, that distinctive badge for what they do in the defense of our nation.